I'm James here, and welcome back to yet another video of the greatest Tampa Bay Buccaneers of all time. And today we're talking about special teams. That's fun, right? So obviously this is a very anticlimactic ending to my greatest Tampa Bay Buccaneers of all time series. I do hope you all enjoyed the series. I had a wonderful time making these for the past couple of weeks, I think. I feel like it's been a while. But we're talking about special teams today, and you know what? What is there to say about special teams? Well, for kicker, you have Martin Gramatica. Honorable mention goes to Connor Barth. He was definitely up there on my list. For punter, I don't know. Tom Tupa, I guess. I don't know. Brian Anger. I really don't. I don't know what to tell you. I'm gonna go with Tom Tupa just because. And then actually for kick returner, I'm actually going to end up going with Carl Williams because Carl Williams is actually a beast for us. Carl Williams is a very, very good return man for us. So I'm going to go with Carl Williams as our returner, Tom Tupa as our punter, and Martin Gramatica as our kicker. I think that's pretty good. I think that's pretty good in my opinion. You know, hopefully you guys can agree with that. Again, honorable mention goes to Connor Barth and Brian Anger. You know, Brian Anger has had a couple of decent years for us, and Michael Spurlock as a returner. You know, a lot of people have very fond memories of him and what he was able to do for us. You know, I think he had our last kick return for it was either a kick return or he had the first ever Bucs punt return for a touchdown. I'm pretty sure was what it was. So shout out to Michael Spurlock. But Carl Williams is my pick. Tom Tupa is my pick. And Martin Gramatica is my pick. So let's talk about it. So Martin Gramatica, okay, now this video is probably not going to be as heavily edited as all the other ones because it's going to probably be a shorter video. Martin Gramatica actually played for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers from 1999 all the way to 2000. And while he was here, he was pretty good. He's pretty decent, very, very decent kicker. He went to the Pro Bowl in 2000. Good. He was an All-Pro second team in 2000, I believe. And he won a Super Bowl with the Buccaneers. Good. That's about as much as you can ask for as a kicker. Taking a deeper look at his stats, his best field goal percentage when he was with the Buccaneers was 84.4%, and that was his first year in 1999. Pretty good. He never had his worst season. Okay, his last two seasons weren't that good because in 2003 he had a field goal percentage of 61.5%, and then the next season in 2004 he had a field goal percentage of 57.9%. You know, on the par with what the Bucs have done at kicker before. You know, the huge. But before that, he was actually a pretty consistent kicker. His first year he would put up 84.4%. The next year after that, 82.4%. The year after that, 79.3%. And then the year after that, 82.1%. His longest field goals for all those years, he only had one season where his longest field goal was below 50 yards, and it was a 49-yarder back in 2001. So, you know, pretty decent in my opinion. He was very good at hitting... he was very good at hitting mid-range, like 40 to 49 yarders. That was kind of where he excelled. He was really, really good at short range as well. I'm really just looking at the website for this because it's like, it's kickers, kickers and punters and whatnot. Fun fact, he did have one punt in 2002, and it went for 23 yards. I don't know what to tell you on that one. He did have his first 4 years, he hit 100% on all extra points. Just first 4 years, 100%. Mr. Automatic on extra points. It was obviously before the rule changes where, stuff would happen that would make extra points harder. But throughout his entire career, he was never bad at extra points with the Buccaneers. 1999 to 2004, his lowest percentage was 95.5%. Pretty good in my opinion. Not too bad at all. Like I said, he won a Super Bowl with the Bucs. He went to the Pro Bowl. 6 years with the Buccaneers, that was the longest he had played ever, and when he went to these other teams, he did a little bit better, but obviously not super great. He wasn't kicking a lot of field goals in his later years. His main bulk of productivity was with the Buccaneers, so yeah, kudos to Martin Gramatica, I guess. Actually, I do want to mention as well that he also was the kickoff specialist, I believe, for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers as well. He's the place kicker, the guy who kicks the kickoffs, so he's very good at that, and he's very decent at the kicker for the first 4 years of his career. 79, keeping it around 80, above 80% in his first 4 years, except for 2001, he was at 79%, but still keeping it around that area. It's pretty good, I guess. Fine. He won a Super Bowl. He won us a Super Bowl. He was good. He was really good. So cool. Cool, I guess. I don't know, this is a weird video. Moving on to punter, talking about Tom Tupa, honorable mention, Brian Anger, like I said. Okay, yeah. Honorable mention goes out to Brian Anger. Well, let's talk about Tom Tupa. Well, he won the 2002 Super Bowl with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. That's very good, right? And his 2 years with the Buccaneers were actually his second and third highest amount of punts that he's ever had in a year, which I guess when you really think about it isn't a good stat because that means your team's punting a lot. But hey, whatever, he won a Super Bowl, right? He got a Super Bowl win. He had a very weird career. He jumped from he played for a lot of teams. But hey, that's cool. Punters are people too. I'm sure. I was very young whenever Tom Tupa was with the Buccaneers, 2002, 2003. I think it was 5 and 6. So I don't remember a lot of Tom Tupa, but I'm sure he had a very strong leg and he was moderately accurate. I'm sure he had a lot of punts inside the 20. He never had a block punt for Tampa Bay. His longest punt was 71 yards. Jesus Christ, that's a boomer. I think that's the second longest punt he had ever had in his career was with Tampa Bay. There you go. That's what else do you need to say? I'm sure that during these Super Bowl runs and playoff runs, guys like Martin Gramatica and guys like Tom Tupa were important in terms of overall field position and just making sure that they were able to win games. I'm actually 100% sure that Martin Gramatica had a couple of game-winning field goals during the Buccaneers playoff runs and whatnot. So, shout out to Martin Gramatica for being clutch and when he needed to be. And then shout out to Tom Tupa for having the ability to just go out there and give the Buccaneers defense wonderful field position and force turnovers like that early 2000s Buccaneer defense was very good at doing. They would force a lot of turnovers. They were just downright awesome. And I'm sure Tom Tupa had a partial hand in that by giving them good field position, just overall being a very wise veteran punter that would just put the ball where he needed to put it and just make offensive coordinators upset because they have to deal with a shorter field. They have to deal with less room for their offense to work with. So I'm sure Tom Tupa had a very good hand in that. So wonderful, I guess. And then finally, the last guy I want to talk about is the returner, Carl Williams. Okay, Carl Williams was pretty good. He was a pretty good returner. Okay, so for his career for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, he had 2,279 yards and 5 punt returning touchdowns. Then he would also finish with 1,277 kick returning yards. And no touchdowns. However, the yardage and the touchdowns for the punt returns was obviously number one. And the kick returning yards was number one as well, just because the dude was our returner for a really long time. So you figure that he would probably have a lot of nice return stats. He actually did mark out some pretty good seasons. His best season being in 2002, again when the Buccaneers won the Super Bowl. He had 410 punt return yards, 1 touchdown. His longest return was 56 yards, and he had a average yards per return that year of 9.5. So again, not bad. Overall, he did have a touchdown that year, which was pretty nice. His longest punt return ever for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers actually came in his rookie year when he had a 88 punt return for a touchdown, which resulted in a punt return for a touchdown, which is very nice to have. I don't really know what else to say besides he was able to get points on the board certain times in the year. He had 5 touchdowns overall in his career, which is, it could be important. 7 points is 7 points, or you take what you can get with that. So the fact that he was able to have such a important ability on the run game, he only had 1 season where he had under 100 yards of total punt returning yards and just overall kick returning as well. He may not have had any touchdowns, but some of the couple of years there where he did have the yardage, where he had 383 yards his first year, 277 his second year, and then 453 in 2000. Some of that stuff matters because it gives your offense better field position, and you can just really help out the team, take some of that pressure off them by getting a good kick or a good punt return. And then if you get a touchdown, that's even better because your offense can rest. It might not be so good for your defense because your defense can't rest. But the Buccaneers' defense was good while Carl Williams was playing anyway. So, it is what it is. That defense was super good anyway. So, again, good. That's very good that he was able to get very good returns in. I don't think he ever made a Pro Bowl as a returner. He did not. But again, just like Grammatica and just like Tupa, he was part of that special teams unit that won that 2002 Super Bowl along with the rest of the Buccaneers team. That's cool. It's just it's the entire 2002 special teams, actually, now that I think about it, that I picked for this list. But really, I mean, it's special teams. What else can you look to? Those guys all probably had a hand in helping the Buccaneers just have a dominant 2002 season, which eventually led to a 2001 to 2002 season, which eventually led to a Super Bowl win. It's just good, it's just good stuff. Can't really argue with it. It is what it is. It's not like the Buccaneers have jaw-dropping special teams stats. They don't. The Buccaneers have had really not so great luck. It's not like you're gonna have like a Devin Hester on the Buccaneers, or you're gonna have like this greatest kicker of all time on the Buccaneers. Like an Adam Vinatieri, he's not on the Buccaneers, or like a punter. You're not gonna have some crazy punter like I don't know. I don't know. You're not gonna have like some crazy insane punter. Punters, kickers, and return men all get swapped out a lot, and for the Buccaneers, that's a consistency. So Williams was consistent for a good chunk of time. Grammatica was consistent for a good chunk of time, at least just overall being on the team. Grammatica was, besides Connor Barth, Grammatica is probably one of the more recent consistencies that we've had at kicker. Matt Bryan as well. And then for Tom Tupa, he was only there for 2 years, but he was a darn good punter while he was here, and he was able to all three of them combined were overall to have a solid special teams unit that helped the Bucs win a Super Bowl. So congrats to all of them. This anticlimactic way to end the series. I'm sorry. But let me know what you think about all this down in the comments section below. What do you think about Martin Grammatica? What do you think about Tom Tupa? What do you think about Carl Williams? Did I leave anything out? There's no stats to really give these guys, Martin Grammatica went to a Pro Bowl in 2002. All three of these guys won a Super Bowl with the Buccaneers. Overall, it is what it is, Grammatica had some decent averages while he was with the Buccaneers. That's good. Tom Tupa had 2 pretty good years with the Buccaneers. That's good. Carl Williams had a few. He played for the Buccaneers from 1996 all the way to 2003. He had some pretty decent years there. Nothing crazy, jaw-dropping, but he had 5 touchdowns overall for his return career for the Buccaneers for punt returns. That's the best return stats by far. Like, Carl Williams is far and above everybody else in terms of overall return stats. For Grammatica, yeah, you could probably argue that Connor Barth and Matt Bryan probably were better overall as kickers in terms of their averages. But again, Grammatica had the chances to be clutch when he needed to be clutch, and he was. He had some good field goals. I'm sure he had some misses in there as well, if people want to remind me about those in the comment section below. And for Tom Tupa, he wasn't with the team long. I think he was with the team from 2000 for the 2002 and 2003 season. It is what it is. Punters, it is what it is. Sorry, it is what it is. But again, let me know what you think about all this down in the comment section below. I'd love to hear all your opinions about it. What fond memories do you have from Martin Grammatica, Tom Tupa, and Carl Williams? I'd love to hear all this down in the comment section below. And as always, guys, thank you so much for watching, and thank you so much for just keeping up to date on this series. If you want to check out all of it, the playlist will be in the eye icon in the top right of the screen. So yeah, again, thank you so much for watching. Hope you all enjoyed, and as always, I'll see you in the next video. If you have any suggestions, leave those in the comments section below. And actually, the Canon camera is gone. I'm using a new webcam. I'm using the Logitech C922. So I hope all of you enjoy how that looks as well. Bed's not made. It is what it is. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. And as always, I'll see you in the next video. or live stream. But until then, and as always, guys, goodbye for now. See ya, and go Bucks.